Thanks for having us. Thank you to Senator Whitehouse, both to Congressman and to Secretary Gorbea, and our state champions here. I'm from the Sierra Club, and as the Sierra Club, we're focused on moving beyond fossil fuels entirely. One of the biggest impediments to doing that is, of course, the campaign spending that does not permit that at a national level. So for us, campaign finance systems as they currently exist are a huge part of what stands between us and meaningful climate action. This is true on a couple of points. Obviously, bankrolling climate deniers is a big one. Inhofe is a classic example, and he received an election campaign contribution that came straight from BP's staff, $10,000, I believe. It was a lot of money. And this is one of many examples. Things have gotten a lot worse since Citizens United, but it's worth pointing out that even before Citizens United, 140 foundations funneled $558 million to 100 climate denial organizations from 2003 to 2010. So that was before Citizens United. So even, as this gets passed, we are still, getting back to where we were in 2009, which is really wonderful work on your part, and I'm really, really pleased to be supporting it, and also back to where we were in 2009. Just to keep that in perspective. Our other concern is that political access in general requires money, right? So as this suite gets passed, we still have a system, one of you two mentioned, I can't remember who, but an emphasis on public financing of elections brings our democracy much closer to the will of the people, and makes it much more sensitive to those who need it most. This is true across all social issues, but particularly climate. I don't think I need to tell anyone at the table that climate change issues affects people of color, it affects women, young people, vulnerable people most. That's true here in Rhode Island. Fields Point is an excellent example of that. So we're really pleased to be here and really pleased to be supporting it. Just a couple of thoughts. What this legislation will help with the dark money issue. We're really excited about that. It's particularly relevant because it helps climate movement organizations like us figure out who's working for us. I mean, Sierra Club does endorsements at the national level. We do endorsements at the state level, as everybody knows, because you've all been endorsed by us, which is great. But we're starting to get serious about being politically involved because it's become clear in the climate movement in the last 5 years that there are limits to other ways of organizing. We have a voter guide, all that kind of thing, and a big membership. The permanent ban on lobbying for former members of Congress, I think, is particularly good. Jim Matheson of Utah, for those of you who don't know, left Congress in 2014. A year later, he became a lobbyist for an energy and payday lending company. He's running an industry group that's suing the Obama administration to overturn the Clean Power Plan, so good reason to not have things like that happen. The limits on campaign financing are good for the same reasons. And I would also just like to add that this legislation won't help with a couple of other things, though, that are really important to climate change. It doesn't replace leadership on climate. I don't need to tell anybody that. And we have some really good climate leaders in the room, obviously. But related, it won't help current fossil fuel infrastructure expansion projects that have been approved or fast-tracked or whatever. And a lot of what we're fighting right now in the climate movement is stuff that's already been rubber-stamped by FERC, stuff that's moving through the state right now. Those are those issues. This is a national package. Many of the frontline climate issues are local. Dakota, we're watching Dakota. We're watching Burrillville, we're watching Fields Point, we're watching all of those things here. And so while this is and the numbers that you threw out are astounding, right? There were some numbers there that I hadn't even heard before, and I'm just agape. But we also have something of a disconnect between what's happening on the national level and where the frontline climate battles are being fought. So I think that's important to keep in mind. And ultimately, the fundamental issue of campaign finance, we think, is going to require more thought on everybody's part. But we're really proud to be here and grateful for the invitation to be at the table today. So thank you.
I think it's pretty safe to say that at the national level, the climate change battle is the campaign finance battle.
Yes, I would agree.
They're totally married together into one thing.